When life knocks you down, sometimes it's hard to get back up. A Southwest Minnesota man is no stranger to that feeling, but determination to continue his family's farm legacy helped him overcome obstacles and find a fresh start in small-town Minnesota. Carly Phillips shares his story in tonight's Eye on KELOLAND.
On the edge of Beaver Creek, Minnesota, is a family farm, a pumpkin patch, and a soon-to-be apple cidery with a story. Sean McFarland studied specialty crops in college. That's also where he met his eventual wife, Marcella.
We just kind of connected over our interests in travel, our interest in being outdoors, having access to nature.
McFarland grew up with a passion for farming.
I knew I was going to move to my family's acreage here in Beaver Creek, Minnesota. And my grandma asked me if I would replant the old apple orchard, which was a little half-acre orchard.
What he didn't know was his plans were about to change. In 2014, McFarland was sentenced to 5 years in federal prison and served 3 for growing marijuana.
I have Crohn's disease, which is a disease that I've found benefits greatly from medical marijuana. And it was illegal in South Dakota, so I moved to California to grow medical marijuana for myself and using my farming skills to grow medical marijuana for others. And it turns out that no matter what state that you're in that it's legal, it's still federally illegal.
But his sentence didn't take away his desire to continue his family's orchard once he got out.
When I was in prison, the future was scary. But I've always been a big dreamer, and I've always had a lot of belief in the future.
So he wrote a letter to the first farmer contact he had.
He started writing letters back to me, and we wrote letters for years while I was in prison, and he put together an apple order for me so that I'd have trees ready when I got out of prison and moved here.
Now, 7 years later, that dream and more is a reality. McFarland opened Blackshire Farms shortly after he was released.
I've got several orchards. I've got a greenhouse that I'm raising up new trees in to plant every year. Every year I plant new apple trees. We've got a pumpkin patch. We recently bought this defunct golf course in Beaver Creek, Minnesota that really needed a new life, and we're giving it to it.
There's even more growth to this story beyond what's being planted in the fields. It includes a new beginning as a farmer, but also as a husband and a dad.
She was a big help, both to me while I was in prison and getting out of prison and getting this whole thing started up. I definitely couldn't have done any of this without my wife. And then we got married on the farm the summer that I got out, and the very next year had our first and only boy.
Planting a new start.
We moved our pumpkin patch out here and started farming pumpkins out here and planting apples on the hillside, and we're converting the old clubhouse into our cidery.
And carving out an example for others.
If you can have some of the patience to see the season change or to see your vegetables or your fruits ripen, that is kind of a metaphor for life, you know, and I think we've experienced that with our relationship and with the work that we're doing.
A story of happy endings, new beginnings, and fields of purpose. With Eye on KELOLAND, I'm Carly Phillips.
McFarland says that they hope to open the apple cidery sometime next year. It's located in Beaver Creek, Minnesota, about 20 miles east of Sioux Falls.